Hey guys, welcome back. This is the Elyson Entrepreneur Interview. In here, we talk to local business owners. They live right here in Elyson and they own a business. We're all about supporting local businesses. If you can support a local business versus a random other business somewhere else on the other side of Houston, let's do that. And so today, we get to meet Mr. Aaron Brister. We're going to be talking about how Aaron Brister built by Brister and came around that way. Or should I call you Aaron? Is that the common name?
That's the common name now.
I'm an Aaron too. I always get called Aaron. I
Great
think
name.
for the last 10 years, it's been
popular.
the running joke, you could say. But yeah, no, great. And we're going to get to know today Aaron's story with Built by Brister. You build today custom cabinetry, different finishes and homes.
Yes.
From what I understand, if someone can draw it with a crayon, or if ChatGPT can imagine it around your home, then you can build it. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, that's it.
That's correct.
So we'll get to hear a little bit more about that. But tell us, Aaron, before you even came to Elyson, how did you get here? Where are you from, and how did you end up here in Elyson?
Originally born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
All right.
I was there pretty much up until post-graduation from college. Followed my then girlfriend, now wife, out to Houston, and we kind of stayed around the Katy area for a bit, but then around 2015 we shot out to San Antonio for a couple of years, and then after about 3 years we came back and we heard about this new community called Elyson.
Yeah, very
so
cool.
2018 we popped up here.
In 2018, so you're probably one of the more original Elyson residents.
Yeah.
On the south side,
On the south side.
That's it. Good.
South side of Elyson.
Very good. So you're Baton Rouge. Did you have any family here in Houston or Katy area, or not at all?
We have a few cousins and stuff around the area, and I have
Yeah.
a sister down in the Richmond area, but
Great.
that's about it. Yeah.
Cool. And how did you hear about Elyson?
We were looking for a house to be close to I-10,
Yeah.
and originally we thought we didn't want to go north of Clay.
I see.
But once we started looking at the housing and the neighborhoods, we kind of didn't want to be in that area.
Mm-hmm.
And on a whim, my wife was like, well, there's a neighborhood a little bit further.
Yeah.
So let's just go up and check out what's this neighborhood about. And then we pulled into Elyson and found the house that we were looking for.
And it was all land out here, no Target.
It was
nothing.
it was a few houses and a bunch of cows.
Yeah.
And a lot of potholes on Peak.
Yeah.
If you remember back then. So
For
Peak
sure.
was like one lane each direction all the way, and it was filled with potholes. And
Everywhere.
the biggest traffic was the cows would get out.
Yeah.
And block Peak.
Right,
back
right.
then. Yeah.
Yep. I feel like even now when we're driving down to Stockton, there's still all the potholes still
Yeah.
there. So
Yeah.
one day,
One day.
there will be no potholes, free-flowing traffic, lots of lanes. But until that day,
To that day, here we are.
that's it. Oh, great. So tell me about this. You're from Baton Rouge, and you came here. Where did you go to school? What did you study? That kind of stuff.
I went to Southern University in Baton Reuse, Louisiana. I have a degree in electronics engineering.
Okay.
So all the circuitry and the math that goes behind that's all
That's
up there.
different. That's a very mathematical engineering type degree.
Yeah.
And here you are building with your
Building
hands,
wood,
right? Yeah. Interesting.
It doesn't really, but it does. So
Yeah.
in the engineering side of it does kind of come into it as far as like
sure.
figuring out how things are going to come together.
Yeah.
Kind of deconstructing and reconstructing. Because most times what I receive is a picture.
Okay.
Not necessarily plans to build something. So
Got it.
kind of deconstruct that photo and then figure out how I'm going to reconstruct it to the way that somebody wants it. So engineering still plays a big part in it.
I bet. Absolutely. Because it's got to be precise. That's the thing, right? It has to be perfectly fit together.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good.
That's good. Cool. So tell me then, what did you get that degree for? What were you going to set out initially to do?
Originally, I wanted to kind of do circuit design,
Okay.
like computer circuit design, kind of build circuits and
Okay.
things like that. When I graduated in 2009, in kind of like the original economic housing crisis, I really couldn't find a job in that field, but I did get a job in the IT field.
Okay.
So I started into IT field doing like corporate IT support and server maintenance, that sort of thing. So I kind of followed that path for the next 10 years of being a system administrator in the IT world.
It was a hard time. I remember because I graduated right around the same time. I graduated in 07, December of 07. And there was just no jobs. It was like 200 applications, 0 phone calls, 0 emails. You don't exist.
Yeah, let's
right?
not go back.
Too many choices out there at the time.
Yeah, definitely early graduate competing with somebody who had, 5, 6 years, 10 years of experience in the field kind of put a damper on getting a job fresh out of college.
Right. Any company could pay somebody with experience the same as what they would pay you. And it just wasn't gonna fly. Yeah. Okay, so you got out of college, you started working in IT.
Yes.
And then,
the original company I worked for in IT was Landry's, their corporate office here in Houston.
Yeah.
I did IT over there for about 5 years.
Tillman Frida, is it?
Fertitta.
Yeah. Fertitta. I can never say his name right. I always mix it up, but yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Very good. So you worked IT for them.
Yep, I did IT for them for about 5 years. After that, I went to BP for a short stint.
Okay.
And then that was around the time that we moved to San Antonio. So I went from BP to USAA.
Okay.
Their corporate headquarters is based in San Antonio. So I worked there for a couple of years.
All IT related
all
then?
IT, yep.
So that was how many years in that whole span there?
So at that point, we're about 8 years in.
Yeah.
And then we came back to the Houston area. So I did about another 2 years. So from like 2018 to around 2020 during that COVID start.
Time, yeah. Very good. Yeah. So you were in San Antonio then?
2015, 2018.
2015, 2018, and then came back. We're still IT.
Still IT.
COVID.
Yep.
And COVID broke everything up.
COVID came and there went that. During COVID, I had just gotten a job, not that far into it, and they were having some tough times and ended up letting me go.
Yeah.
But during that time, I was kind of starting what became what this is.
Oh, I see. So you're doing this on the side then.
Yeah, so at this point, we moved back to Houston in 2018.
Okay.
I'm in the garage kind of mulling around, building things, here and there.
Got it.
Word kind of got out.
Good, very good. So curious, you work with your hands, and I've seen your work. You do amazing work.
Thank you.
Great photos out there too. Curious though, does it run in your family, or is this something you just came up with and started doing?
It does. So originally, my grandfather did construction, where he would kind of build houses. He did like framing.
Okay.
Construction from the ground up.
Okay. Yeah.
My father would also do construction with him.
Okay.
And when I was younger, living in Baton Rouge, we didn't kind of do summer camps.
Okay.
During the summer.
Yeah.
You're getting out there.
Out and working.
Out working,
Okay.
Yeah, so during the summer, I would kind of help them, kind of build things. And I realized at an early age, I don't want to do framing and construction.
Okay.
But I did like woodwork. Because most construction is kind of a fair weather field.
Yeah.
So, if it's raining or if it's too hot, you may not be able to actually work.
Yeah.
And I didn't like working out in the heat constantly that. So I preferred, hey, once this is done, I can come in
inside.
I can come in. I can put some cabinets in here. I can do
make it
stuff
look
like that.
nice. Yep, good.
Yeah.
You have that eye for detail, I'm guessing, which makes it quite unique.
It's a little different. So when you're framing, things are kind of good enough.
Yeah.
Versus when you're doing cabinetry, it can't be good enough.
Right. I know every inspection report I see, the inspector's always like, look at these beams. They're all kind of like just hung together by some nails up in the rafters somewhere in the house.
But I tell people like the wall looks straight until you put something straight on it.
And then it's not.
And then it's not.
Yep. And then you have to deal with that and make
fault.
it look right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure this is with this too, and we were talking about this with the last interview we had, and they do some custom blinds and things like that. But you don't get square things all the time, right? You have to just make it look square and make it look right.
Yeah, there's a lot of making it look.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, the walls are never square. They're never the same spacing. But when you stand back, it looks to the naked eye. It does look straight and square. But then once you get into the details of it, you realize.
Yeah, good. Very good. So did you start this kind of as a hobby, just building some things for yourself?
Yeah. It was mostly a hobby in the garage.
Okay.
Me kind of like building some shelves in my garage, or me kind of like just building some little table or something in the garage.
Okay.
That was mostly what I did in the beginning. It was just something that I did, just kind of on my own.
picked up a lot of tools over the years.
Yeah, every time there's an opportunity to buy a tool, you buy it.
Yeah, I know I probably spent a lot more money on tools to build things than I would have spent just paying somebody to do the work. And
that's part that goes into it. You got to have the right tools to do the right job.
Yeah, for sure.
It makes it a whole lot easier. So
cool. So you built some things for yourself, but then when was maybe the first thing? Can you remember the first thing that you built for somebody else?
I remember. I guess this is how Built by Brister is an Elyson business, because I was just doing things for myself, not necessarily looking to market things or offer things to other people.
Okay.
But the neighborhood Facebook page.
Yep.
Somebody was looking for a custom desk to be built.
Okay.
I think that may have been like the original catalyst.
Yes.
Somebody posted that they were looking for a custom desk to be built, and somebody put my name.
They
knew that I kind of worked around.
Tinkered with stuff.
It was like he's always in the garage doing something. He may be able to help you out. So, I reached out to him. I was like, yeah, I think I can do that for you. And I was able to do it for them, and they were happy. So what happened was that person circled back.
Okay.
Went on the Facebook page and said, hey, look at what Aaron did.
There you go.
So everybody's like, oh, what else can you do? And I was like, well, I don't know. I kind of just figure stuff out. Cool. So I was like, well, let's just see what else we can do. And it just got to the point where, they would say, well, can you make this? And I'd say, well, yeah, I can.
Yeah.
And then, can you make this? And I can. So it kind of snowballed into the point where, I kind of expanded what I'm able to do. And then, Elyson kind of created Built by Brister.
That's awesome.
Sense.
That's awesome.
So it just was over the next 2 years, year and a half, 2 years. It was mainly Elyson kind of feeding into what would become Built by Brister.
That's the 2018, 2019
2018, 2019, then COVID hits. It's to the point where,
everyone's at home.
Everybody's at home.
I need a new desk because I work from home.
I gotta work from home now.
Yep.
It's time to. I'm looking at these walls. These walls are pretty, basic. So it's like now it's time to do something in the house. So at that point, Built by Brister was officially born during COVID once I got laid off from my IT job.
I see. Yeah.
So.
And did you already have kind of some backlog going into that layoff time?
I did.
And other stuff? Yeah.
I did. It was getting to the point because I was working a full-time job. Leaving that full-time job during the day and then doing this full-time job of building things at night.
Yep.
So it was, the log was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger,
Lots
and the
of
projects
hours.
get bigger and bigger and bigger. So, it was time to make that transition, and it was just made for me.
Okay.
So once I had that decision in front of me, it was easy to make that step.
So what was it like? You got laid off. You come home, probably sitting at the dinner table with the missus. And were you like relieved? Were you nervous? Were you what went through your mind that night?
Well, that's where I gotta give all the thanks and the support to my wife.
Yeah.
She was the one that said, I think you can do this.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there nervous, like, well, I gotta go to another job, I gotta do this, it's I want the guaranteed paycheck. And then she's like, I think this is a sign, like we can see this through.
Right.
So special shout out and thanks to the wife for
absolutely taking for being the backing, right?
Yeah, for being the one that supported that whole process and movement.
So she says, hey, you should do this, and now you have more time to do this, right? So you wake up the next morning and start working on your projects, thinking you're going to catch up.
Immediately, I thought that, but
yeah.
The beauty of the neighborhood was they were able to feed into Built by Brister to make it a success.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a stressful transition because the neighborhood supported the process.
Absolutely. So. Very good. So what in the beginning when you first started, what types of things were you building the most or getting calls for?
In the very beginning, one thing that really set the neighborhood on fire was these stove covers that I used to make. I used to make these stove covers. One person requested it in the neighborhood, and I never made it before. So I can make it. I made it.
Sure.
And of course, post on Facebook. Boom, boom. Aaron made this for me, and now I have 1 million orders of. I want one of those.
Stove covers.
So I was just like a stove cover factory at one point. That was the item.
Manufacturing output.
Stove covers. I would just say, send me the dimensions of your stove. What do you want it to look? I would try to customize things. I I didn't want things to be like basic and everybody have the exact same thing.
Okay.
So I offered the ability to say, okay, do you want like a pattern in the wood?
Sure.
Do you want like it to say something? Do you want a certain color? You know, give people kind of the ability to put their own look on something that they're going to put in their house.
Very good. So did you get a step in the door then to go measure some things? Is that kind of how that starts, or
so originally
delivery?
So people would kind of reach out from the post that they saw, and then you know, I would say, hey, I just need to come measure your stove.
Yep.
You know, so I would measure the stove, make the stove cover, and this time I bought this thing called a branding iron.
Okay. Yeah.
And I had that branding iron with my
Built
logo
by
on
Brister.
it. So, you know, every time I would make one, I would stick
Smack in there.
Built by Brister on there. So that was my business card, so to speak.
Okay, that's great. That's a genius idea. Absolutely.
Yeah, so that was my business card. So from there, you know, it went to, hey, can you make a barn door? Can you make a cabinet? Can you make a table?
It opens conversations. They're reminded of you daily.
They walk past me every day in their kitchen. So
that's
they're
awesome.
like, you know, I need to call this guy. So.
Yeah. All right. Anyone out there in Elyson has one of those, put the picture in the comments on the video there. Let's see them roll. So yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Very cool. So that, I imagine, led to more conversations of more things. Can you build this? Or hey, you know, I see this wall over here by the TV. It looks kind of empty.
Yeah.
Let me show you what you could do. Is that kind of how that then took off to other things? Or?
It took off to other things, and it helped me kind of figure out the path of Built by Brister. Like, what did Built by Brister want to lock in on, want to grow, want to focus in on?
Yeah.
So I didn't want to be spread so thin where I would be like a general contractor.
Okay.
Where it's just, oh, he does everything.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to do everything. I wanted to do the thing that kind of made me happy and create these custom pieces for people.
Right.
Which is what I would tell people is like, hey, if you have something that you're looking for, but it's not big enough, it's not wide enough, it's not tall enough, you can't find it on the market, I can custom build it for you.
Yeah.
You know, but if you're just looking for like something generic, I don't want to put you in a position where, you know, you're doing something that you may not want, that you can just go find anywhere.
Just go find out of the box, Home Depot, cabinetry, or whatever. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. So do you still build those stove covers today?
I do not.
Really? Okay. Interesting.
I do not. I had to hang them up on the rafters. You know, I had to hang up the stove covers.
Yeah. And I'm assuming it just wasn't profitable per se.
It never was really profitable to make them.
Yeah.
It was just more for the love of it, to do something for people.
Yeah.
It was never something that kind of paid the bills.
Right.
Because once you put the time and the effort and the materials and everything
you're still custom designing that, right?
Yeah, I'm still giving everybody
and it's a
freedom
$low item,
to like custom design this thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, some people wanted all these intricate things, so it's just at the point where it just didn't
make
match
sense.
up.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So today then, it's largely what, cabinetry and
largely cabinetry. I do a lot of laundry rooms.
Okay.
Home offices.
If my wife's listening, she's going to remind me that 6 months ago she told me to build a little counter in our laundry room, and I haven't done it yet. We'll see if she's listening.
Well, you do know a guy. I'm just saying.
That's right.
Just say Aaron's going to do it.
We do need to bring you out there, Aaron, and get it done.
Yeah. Mostly that's what it is right now.
Okay.
During COVID, it was a lot of accent walls. I think that kind of took off during COVID.
Designing things like that. Yeah.
That was a big thing then, but now it's a lot of custom cabinetry.
Interesting. Okay. So are you running this on your own? Do you have a team of 1,000 people? What's that look like today?
I guess I'll introduce you to the entire Built by Brister staff.
Yeah.
I am the owner of Built by Brister. I come get the measurements for you.
Yep.
I'll send you the quote invoice.
Yep.
I'll build it.
Accounting.
I'll paint it.
Receivables.
Accounting, receivables, purchasing, delivery, installation.
Built by Brister.
Built by Brister.
That's it.
When I say Built by Brister, I mean it's literally
through and through.
Built by Brister.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I take pride in seeing it through from beginning to end.
Yeah.
I really like the aspect of, like, let's say you give me your drawing of something.
It's a dream.
And I take that thought that you have, and I go to the lumber yard, I pick the material by hand. I'm the one doing all those things.
Yeah.
You know, to kind of make sure that the quality is the same throughout.
Right.
You know, I'm not going to take your order and then say, hey, can you come do this? I need to place an order for this, you know, kind of just trickling it down.
Sure.
You know, and just putting the tax on it and then saying, there you go. So yeah, you'll see me through the entire process. I am the beginning and the end.
In the GC business, it's the, hey, you enjoy the craft, the art, the delivery, and the experience that you're giving them. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very good. And I think that speaks to quality for sure.
I can see it through all the way to the end. So that is something that, you know, you kind of lock in on over the years and make sure that you have to set yourself apart. You know, you can't just create anything or do anything, because, you know, what may seem minor to you is just another cabinet. This is somebody's home. Yeah. This is somebody's place where they feel comfortable and they're happy in that setting. And if they're going to look up and see, I paid that guy to do that and I'm not happy, you know, I don't want to be that guy. Yeah. You know, so
it needs to speak to quality, right? And ultimately that's going to be there for a lifetime, right? And so, very good.
That's it.
Awesome. So talk to me a little bit in terms of how, because you're doing everything, right? It gets tricky. Marketing goes. Does this business largely come to you just word of mouth from photos? Have you engaged in other tactics of marketing, or
about
what do you find?
80 or 90% of it is, again, back to the neighborhood. Yeah. You know, Elyson has been very big in supporting. So a good bit of the work that I do get is right here in the neighborhood.
That's awesome.
So the stuff that people see like on my Instagram or my Facebook page, it's their neighbors. Yeah. You know, it's the people that live around you that are buying these things and, you know, having me put these things in. So good. A lot of it is word of mouth. Like, you know, you'll have your little Christmas party, you know, neighbors come over, who made that, you know? Or if they look around, if it's like a mantle or something, you'll see the stamp
on there. Yeah, it's there.
It's there. Sometimes it's hidden. Sometimes it's, you know, it's like right on the side somewhere. So, you know, those are the things that kind of help keep the business coming. It's just, you know, people have people over and then they say, hey, look at this thing, which goes back to, you know, pride of work of, you know, me putting some effort into this. So when somebody does come over, what you want to say is, hey, come look at my laundry room. Yeah. You know, hey, come look at what I had done.
Something
you want to talk about it. You want to show it off, and that's what I strive for, is to have people to be able to be in a position where they want to show it off. They want to talk about it. They want to be happy about the decision that they made for their home.
Awesome. Yeah, if you're not following him on Instagram or Facebook, definitely give him a follow there. You'll get a lot of inspirational ideas. Yeah. And I was actually talking to you a little bit about this earlier. ChatGPT. Yeah. What do you see people doing with ChatGPT and bringing you ideas in that sense?
Some ideas in ChatGPT are good ideas. They're just not practical. Okay. Woodworking wise, you know, they tend to take what you say and just put it in the most compact form. Okay. And just spit it out. Yeah. But when I have to look at that and I say, okay, well, you want, you know, a drawer right here, but then you want this to open up, and then you want that to be another space, and you want this to do that. It's too compact. Yeah. So either it's going to be enormous to factor in everything that you want to include, or it's just not practical, you know, in the sense that you think it would be. Got it. You know, so your idea is good, but the execution won't be what you think. For sure. So it's a conversation that it has to be had with some people. It's like, okay, I see where you're going, right? But we can't go there. Yeah. So.
No, that's good. And this is because it's kind of cool. You can take a picture, if you've never done this before, you can take a picture of your fireplace, your living area, whatever, and just say, design, you know, cabinetry around this, or design a, you know, accent wall here. And you can kind of get ideas and say, hey, change this or change that, right? And it can be awesome for this, but then you have the practical side, as you said. You need to actually have real measurements of things, right? And if the measurements don't match up, then at least your experience is there to say, hey, you might not want to do this because of, you know, X, Y, or Z that I've seen before, right?
I try to let people know. Again, it's back to the conversation that we have to have of like expectations. Okay. Because a lot of people, they know they want something. They don't know exactly what that something may be. They just know they want something. So what I'll tend to have people do is, because I don't like to make decisions on design, so to speak. As far as like, I think you should put, you know, a cabinet there and this. I don't want to design the house because if I do it and then you say, you know what, I don't really like that. Now it's my fault.
Right.
Because I told you to do it.
Sure.
So I try to stay out of that, but what I do tell people to do is look at inspiration photos on Pinterest. Look at Instagram. Look at, you know, other designers that are doing this professionally. That's their lane, is to design. Look at what they're offering, and you can say, hey, I like the shelf on this picture. I like the cabinet on this picture. I like the look of this. I can take those things and put them together and come up with your project.
Got it.
You know.
Good. Yeah, so talk to me, what is it like if someone out there brings in their house, what's that engagement look like, conversation look like, ideation to getting that project actually built?
So a lot of it is when I show up, you know, I'm already the wheels are already spinning when I show up. I'm looking at you invite me over to say, okay, I'm looking for cabinets in my laundry room. Immediately I'm looking at the layout, space. I'm looking at ceiling height. I'm looking at vents. I'm looking at you know, everything in that room, the doorway, how much space is in there. Sometimes people do like a lot of cabinetry in their laundry room. The laundry room may not be big enough. So it's just a matter of, okay, you want storage space. How can we utilize this space that you have to the best of our ability and still get you what you want, but not make you feel like you're closed in? You know, so it's a lot of looking to say, okay, well, can we just have taller cabinets above and maybe nothing below? You know, that sort of thing. Just kind of looking to see what space we have available to work with, and just kind of having that conversation to say, okay, this is what you can do. This is what you can't do.
And you got ideas you show pictures of? Is that kind of
if they're a little lost on probably like where they want to go? You know, I can say, hey, look at these are some of the things I've done in the past. Here's something that's similar to your space that you may want to consider. You know, that sort of thing. But a lot of times I'll say, hey, just pull out Pinterest. Type in laundry room. Type in, you know, living room. And you'll get
tons of ideas,
millions of ideas instantly, and then you can kind of pick and choose. Even with choosing colors, like color schemes. I tend to say, make sure that you're selecting the color that you like. You know, when it comes to, you know, when people say just pick a color. I really can't.
You got to pick something that they like.
Because I pick a color and you don't like it, I have to repaint it. You know, so. So that goes back to, you know, time and, you know, things that go into finishing that job is, okay, now I got to repaint it. So now that pushes somebody else back, because the model of Built by Brister is first in, first out. So if you're first in line, you're the first one that's going to be out. So if I'm still working on your job because I want you to be 100% happy, that next person is going to have to slide back a bit.
They have to wait a little bit.
To make sure that you're 100%.
You're the one-man show, giving A+ quality, right? And so, got to manage the queue of people always. So,
it is a double-edged sword of being a one-man show. You do get the hands-on from beginning to end, but there is those times where you may have to pivot because you have to put a little bit more time and effort on one project as opposed to, you know, moving on to the next one. So, but then again, it's just conversation of letting somebody know, like, hey, something came up with this job. Once I'm done with this job, I'm on to your job.
Makes sense. Good. Very good. So tell us, do you still work out of your garage today?
I no longer work out of the garage. My lovely wife kicked me out of the garage. Too
much dust and sawdust in the house?
Too much dust everywhere. I mean, dust is just everywhere. So, I worked out of the garage for about 2 years or so. And of course, that means her car had to be in the driveway. So, you know, rain, cold, she had to go outside to get to it. But what was really the catalyst of me moving out of the garage was the projects became too large. So it got to a point where I would have to move projects out into the driveway to have space to assemble things, to paint things, and it just was overwhelming to the point where you had tools, you know, table saw and dust collector and all this machinery. taking up half the garage, and then it leaves you with another spot to assemble, and then you got to have materials storage. You know? So eventually it just was, the wall started closing in. So I was able to find a space to move Built by Brister out into an official workshop.
So it sounds to me like you almost spent more time rearranging your garage to do a specific task or a specific thing or store something.
It would definitely take about an hour and a half to just set up to be able to start something. And then of course at the end of that, you have to reverse that. So another hour and a half of, okay, let's put everything back out the way so we can maneuver through here.
Got it, yeah. I bet that gets tricky too in terms of the business aspect, because then you open up a shop and you've been charging one way, but now your costs are a little different, right? Like, you're leasing. I'm guessing lease is not cheap.
Leases are not cheap. I mean, that was the eye-opening business part of it. I never was a business person as far as like educational goes. Like, I didn't go to school for business or management, that sort of thing. So learning how to run a business was more difficult than learning how to build, this custom built-in cabinetry.
So the designing, the look, the feel, the quality came natural to you.
Yeah.
You're intricate with those details like an engineer, as you're educated to be, right?
Yeah.
Mathematical, precise. But accounting, what did you learn along that side of things?
I learned that I wasn't good at it. That's why I had to give my wife the accounting role. It's like, okay, hey, what are we looking like? And that's when, you figure out, okay, being in the garage, your overhead is basically zero.
Yeah.
You're not paying a lease, a monthly lease. You're not paying that electricity, that separate electricity. You're not paying that business insurance. You're not paying all those things. So now when you go official and you have a warehouse, a workshop space, all those things come into play. So now it's like, okay, let's go back to the table. Me and the wife sit down at the table and say, okay, hey, let's rework these numbers. Where do we need to be? How do we make this what it should be? Billable hours, making sure that, labor rates are being charged right, payroll taxes, all these things that go into place when, just building stove covers, you don't think about it.
No.
But now when you're building, custom laundry rooms and home offices and that sort of thing, it's like, okay, we need to figure out where we need to be and what we need to do to get there. So it's just okay, let's just figure this out, stop. And figure this out, because if not, you're basically upside down. You're hemorrhaging money. You're spending more on labor and materials, and then when you get your payment, it's not enough.
It's gone. It all went to the leases, not to you, right?
So you're basically working for free.
It's got to be complicated to do and figure out, and then you got to sit down and work on your business, which doesn't bring money, right? Like it's figuring out those processes that
and what I learned over the years is the better you get at what you do, the less you will do what you are good at. So the more I've built the company of Built by Brister, of being able to offer these things, I spend more time on the backside of, okay, how do we make sure that this is successful? It pulls you away from that. But being able to see it grow and be successful is still,
it's rewarding. Absolutely. That's the fun of it, right?
That's the beauty of it.
No, good. And there's just an element too of, hey, you own your schedule, you own your whatever. You probably work more hours, right? At the end of the day. But you have the freedom to choose where and when to work, and all those kinds of things. And
one of the major things that I wanted to do once I transitioned from working corporate America and Built by Brister to just Built by Brister is that family time. Give that family time back, because before the family time was going to Built by Brister. So now that there's no more corporate job and Built by Brister is happening during those corporate work hours, I was, wanted to make sure that, hey, those nights and evenings, back to the family. Those weekends, back to the family. Because they were the ones that were paying the price of, me building this business, so giving that back to them was, top priority.
It's huge. And you, as a business owner, you have the control, you have the time. Sometimes it takes the effort of defining it and saying, I will do this.
It's a hard conversation for some people. Some people feel as if I message you for something, I need to answer immediately.
Right.
But if you go to Chick-fil-A on a Sunday, they're not going to take your order.
They're not going to answer you.
And you're not going to be upset about it. You know, so it's just defining those this is what I need, you know, in order to serve you. I need this for myself.
Certainly.
So I need my family time. I need, you know, to be able to pour into my kids and my wife and spend time with them. And, you know.
That's huge.
It just has to be what it is, you know.
That's good. That's good. Well, Aaron, thanks so much again for joining us on this interview to get to know you guys. If you guys know anyone who needs any work, any custom cabinetry work, laundry rooms, all that kinds of stuff, businesses too. Do you do anything with businesses?
Sometimes, yeah, I do stuff for like businesses, small businesses. Yeah.
What kinds of things for businesses have you built?
Similar to cabinetry, a lot of cabinetry for businesses, shelving, that sort of thing. Sometimes they need something in their back room or something like that. Yep. For the Elyson business, the liquor cabinet, the shelves behind the counter there.
We've interviewed them too, right? So that's great. If you guys have a need for any kind of custom cabinetry work, custom finishes, mantles, whatever, woodwork, you know who to call. But Aaron, tell us, how do we get in touch with you?
The best way is to either email me or follow me on Instagram or Facebook. Email is builtbybrister@gmail.com. Social medias are all at Built By Brister on Facebook and Instagram. I prefer an email, or you can send me a DM on either Facebook or Instagram. I try not to get into personal messages. I don't check those very often for business purposes. So if you can reach out via email or Instagram or Facebook.
Perfect. Thanks again, really appreciate it. And supporting local, as always, here we go.